What is up, everybody? I'm Elliott. This is Sparky, and today we're going to be doing a video on the Anderson Utility Pro. I have to give a big thank you to Anderson for giving us the opportunity to review this rifle, as they did send it out for us to make content on and to do a review on. We actually requested this due to you guys for being in our comment section every time we do a black rifle review. Somebody's down there like Anderson. And we hadn't done one in 5 years, so that's how this came about. Before we get into it, we have to give a kind of big shout out to the people that keep the lights on here for us. And the first one would be, True Shot. True Shot is the ammo supporter here on the channel. If you want to go check them out, head on over to basementoperator.com/links. You can find everything from hunting ammo there to, training stuff. All of it can be found over with them. So big thank you to True Shot. And we also have to give a big thank you to TacPack. TacPack is a monthly tactical subscription service that sends you all kinds of cool stuff. We've got rails, knives, walkers,
grips,
everything you can think of from TacPack. So, we've been a really big fan of them, and we're really thankful that they've decided to support us here on the channel. So if you want to go check them out, you can head on over to basementoperator.com/links as well, and then use code DELP and get a free goodie bag at checkout. All right, Sparky, so this is the Anderson Utility Pro. This is a 5.56 16-inch rifle. Honestly, it's a pretty budget setup.
Yes.
This thing MSRP is anywhere between $400 to $600, give or take, depending on what website you find it on or what store you find it in. And really, it is a budget AR-15. Anderson is known for being,
it's a mainstay in the budget build.
A mainstay in the budget build. So this thing, we want to talk about some of the things that we liked about it and some of the things we didn't like about it, and then, kind of give our overall opinion on whether or not it's worth the $400 price point. So one of the really notable things that we found with this rifle through our testing, and that's 500-600 rounds, give or take, is the accuracy out of this. So this has a 16-inch barrel with a carbine linked gas system on it, and it is an incredibly accurate rifle. We were able to get an MOA out of it with, what was it, Sparky?
Hornady American Whitetail, the interlock, 62 grain.
Yeah.
It did much better than I thought it would.
I mean, really good accuracy out of this.
And everything else was around that two-ish
MOA,
which you would expect.
Plus or minus a flyer. That's one of the things we really thought was great about this rifle, and one of the things that was really, worth noting. And
we've had more expensive rifles shoot worse than that.
Exactly. So there was that, and then the rail system's really nice. It has a pick piece across the top, so you're able to run your pressure pads, your PEX. If this is something that you want to buy and build off of, it has the options there in terms of the rail. The rail's also locked up very well. We marked it as soon as we got it, and they haven't moved any, which is nice and important. We did run this with a Griffin for the vast majority of the shooting, and that was one of the things we did note, as it's a very gassy gun when it's suppressed. Now, it's a $400 rifle, so, you're not getting a, gas buster charging handle or, special ports on the end of your buffer tube that direct gas. So keep that in mind. If it is something that you want to suppress and then suppress furthermore, it might be worth looking into things that remedy that. Sparky, do you have anything special you want to talk about the gun that you found, really nice or didn't really like?
The biggest thing for me was the accuracy, how well it shot, and then the rail. I was very impressed with, for the price point, how good quality the rail was.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel cheap. Like the whole gun just doesn't feel cheap. And they came with Magpul furniture. We got a B5 system on it right now, just so we could more easily run a sling. But the Magpul furniture was a nice touch for that cheap of gun, because typically you see just the standard, cheap plastic.
Yeah.
M4 style.
For that $400, you're oftentimes getting M4, so having the Magpul MOE stuff is really nice. And I definitely think that it is a added value to the rifle that may be something that is a $400 rifle doesn't have.
Talking about 50 to 60 bucks, give or take. Which is still, on $400, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's eighth of the rifle. One thing I will note that they didn't do is, and this is a nitpicky thing, does it function differently because of it? No, but they didn't stake the castle nut. It's just a little QC thing. A little peace of mind for the shooter.
Very easy to stake yourself, so it's not the end of the world. And then honestly, if they tighten that sucker down good enough, it might not ever come undone. So that's, one of the things. Another thing I noticed that I like, it has a very audible safety.
Yes.
Which is really good. It is a little tough.
It's a little stiff, but more we should, to come loosen up a little bit.
But it's very audible. You know when it's clicking, you know when it's turned over, and you know when it's safe.
You're not gonna flip it to fire by accident.
No, you're not. So overall, I think this is a very good budget rifle, Sparky. I think when we're talking, price point, I think it's underpriced, honestly, for how good of accuracy we were able to get out of it. And then if somebody came up to me just randomly and was like, hey, what's a good, sub $500 rifle, this would be a contender in talking about, what I think they should get.
Yeah, if you came to me and said, you know, I got $500-600. Was that hot?
That was hot.
If I got $500 or $600 to spend on a rifle, I'm like, oh, you can find this thing in most places between $400 to $500, $100 on an optic, and you're out the door.
Yeah.
And you're already shooting. So you can spend $1,000 and you got a bunch of ammo and a bunch of mags, and you're ready to go.
I couldn't agree more, Sparky.
Would you recommend any other ones over this, or where's this one fit?
Where it comes in at that $400 price point. When you're talking about $400 rifles, there's one that stands out a lot, and that's, you know, the PSA. The PSA is really hard to beat. It's, I think, $480, or depending on what it is.
A blim for $399.
Yeah, depending on what it is. So I think the PSA is up there. And then this is probably a close second or maybe a first, considering the accuracy we were able to get out of it. It's really hard to beat. So I think we're going to wrap it there. We really appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Go down and comment what rifles you'd like to see us review next. It really helps us plan out these videos and get you the content that you guys want to see. Check us out at Basement Operator, and we'll see you guys on the next one. As always, take some outdoors. Peace.
Bye, Mom. What is that, like 150?
I don't know. I got a rangefinder over there on that thermal.
Yeah.
I'll have to range it.
See if we can thread it between the trees.
Sure.
Let's get it off one. Well,
there you go.
It does the trick. So yeah, for the price point, can't beat it.
No, I completely agree.